Hey everybody, welcome back to Integrative Psychonautics. My name is Dave, and in today's video we're going to be talking about what I think is potentially one of the most important things you can hear me talk about, which is the connection between psychedelics and kind of missing childhood experiences or early life experiences that we didn't get, that we may need in order to feel healthy or balanced. So if this sounds of interest to you, please watch on, and I think you'll appreciate it. And just really quick, for anyone who may be new to me, new to the channel, first of all, a very warm welcome to you. I want to say hi, my name is Dave. I'm a coach. I'm a hypnotherapist, just for context, so you know where I'm speaking from when I talk about this. I'm not a licensed therapist, but I have a 30-year history of using psychedelics that goes back to the early 90s. I've been coaching for about 8 years. I'm a hardcore student of all things spiritual, personal development, NLP, hypnosis, all kinds of therapeutic techniques. I'm always learning about this stuff and sharing what I know. I work in the psychedelic space with people, just to be really clear with you, mostly doing integration work, doing prep work, and doing kind of personal transformation work in between psychedelic sessions for people. So if that's your interest, then you're certainly in the right channel here. And of course, if you ever would like assistance or would like to ask me any questions, please feel free to email me. My email will be down in the description below underneath this video. With all that being said, let's go ahead and get into the topic today, because this is a really important, deep, beautiful, juicy, slightly sad, but crucial topic. Let's get it. Okay, so this is another one that I've been wanting to talk about for a while, but didn't quite know how I wanted to frame this. So I've kind of just decided, you know what, let's just throw in the camera here and let's talk about it. So the more I learn about personal transformation and personal healing and resolving issues, and the more I study different forms of therapy and get more trainings and, get more coaching myself, the more clear it becomes that one of the hardest parts of this personal healing journey for most of us, especially if we're doing trauma work, deep kind of childhood reparenting, re-imprinting work, that kind of stuff, one of the hardest parts is not so much if we need to clean up something that happened, but it's often the fixing or the healing or the resolving an issue that comes from a missing childhood experience or a missing developmental experience that was important that we never got. So there are a lot of examples of this where I don't want to go too deep down anything personal with myself or any of my, clients' examples, but, let's say someone who wasn't given enough safe touch in childhood and then grows up to just feel really distant from people and really afraid of being touched, but, has maybe a spouse or a long-term partner or wants to be in a relationship. Or let's say someone who, never got words of validation from one of their, primary, their parents or primary caregivers. And it's really important, and they have a really hard time now kind of self-validating and self-affirming because they never had that modeled for them. I hope you're starting to get what I mean when I say missing experiences. So it's possible all along that developmental arc, I could think of all kinds of examples. My brain's starting to kick them out as I'm talking here. But as we move through this early developmental arc, especially through those first 7 years of childhood, there are a lot of these kind of developmental needs that we have and experiences that we if we're going to be really healthy and if we're going to be raised right and develop into secure, healthy, fully, actualized, balanced adults that we needed to have. And sometimes we just didn't have those experiences, maybe for whatever reason. A parent was absent, or a parent was emotionally or mentally absent, or, had to work all the time, or da-da-da-da. There can be a lot of reasons we didn't have what we needed. And this is very, very difficult when it comes time to healing, because it's just so hard to really try to imagine and access what it is you've never had an experience of before. it just feels deeply abstract to most people. Unless you're someone who's really, really good with imagination, or really, really good at kind of projecting yourself and imagine stepping into another person's body and having that experience, it can be really hard to have these kinds of experiences. So enter psychedelics, right? So quick sip of water. Okay, so enter psychedelics. So one of the things that psychedelics can do for us that I think offers perhaps one of the points of deepest healing is because they open what's called the critical window period of kind of rewiring the brain. I'll be doing another video on that shortly here. There are a lot of other ways you can think about it, but because they kind of open our nervous system back up and unlock the ability to read and write new information, they open us up to having the possibility to have that experience we never had before put in a way that will go in deep and kind of safely give our nervous system what it didn't get before. And I think this often represents kind of the deeper end, both of psychedelic therapy and of the possibility of psychedelic healing. I think, potentially the deepest aspect of psychedelic healing, if I was to pontificate, would probably be like deep spiritual healing, in my personal opinion. But I think maybe next to that would be something like getting these deep nervous system recalibration experiences that are a counterbalance or the antidote to whatever it is that was either wounded or absent earlier in life. And this is work, by the way, I want to be clear that if this appeals to you and resonates with you and you're like, yeah, that's what I need. There's something there. I know there's something there. And it's not that, I was treated badly, but it's like maybe I didn't get what I needed. And there's something I need, connecting to, or that I need resolution with. If you have that sense that what I'm talking about here hits home for you and is something you would like to heal, here's my advice. Don't try to do it by yourself. And don't try to do it with just a friend, kind of casually trying to kind of mock up your own psychedelic therapy. At this depth and this sensitivity, this is more something I would really strongly recommend you find someone who is really well educated in trauma work, probably trained in somatic therapy, who is very good about consent and boundaries, because a lot of times these kinds of things might involve you need someone to hug you at an appropriate moment, or you need someone to hold your hand and help you feel safe, or you need someone to, stand above you and kind of hold your shoulders and help you feel supported. Things like that, that maybe at a somatic nervous system level creates this new imprint. But I would not do those kinds of things by yourself. And if you're going to use a therapist, this is the kind of territory that can be very sensitive because we're talking about touch. So it has to be someone who really clearly understands consent and, will talk with you and work with you around that, will really finally be tuned to you in maybe a way you don't even understand, but understands the nuances of somatic body level communication, attachment, healthy attachment in terms of attachment theory, and understands, how to kind of read these cues, listen to you, take your direction, and work with you to help you re-imprint this. This is deep, delicate work we're talking about here. But I just want to kind of speak to it because I want you to know that if you have a sense, there's a missing thing there that I need healing that I didn't get, that psychedelics really can help you get to that place. They can help you reach that part of your nervous system, which can be really hard to reach in normal therapy. It can be done, not saying it can't be done, but psychedelics do make access to that easier. And so you really can kind of fill your cup where perhaps before it was empty. And I think that this is, super beautiful, super profound, and some of the more promising potential with these medicines, and, and properly aligned, again, really safe, really well contained, really highly attuned, excellent therapy in conjunction with it. So so I just kind of want to introduce this idea to you of, missing experiences, missing formative experiences, and the idea that, yes, psychedelics can address this kind of stuff. The idea that, again, this is also something you probably don't want to do by yourself. I'm a big advocate of self-healing with psychedelics. There are a lot of therapists out there who believe it's impossible to self-heal, especially with relational stuff that ultimately you always need someone you're relating to. There are a lot of therapists who believe that the therapeutic alliance is absolutely crucial to self-healing or to healing. I don't know that I agree with all of that. I think there's a lot of huge assumptions coming from the therapy world around that. And I really do want to be an advocate for people to learn how to self-maintain, self-heal whenever appropriate. But I do think there are certain places where maybe the therapists are kind of, more correct, and that once you get really in these deep spots, having a really safe relational figure is super, super helpful. So that being said, I just want to, again, plant this bug in your ear that, psychedelics can help you fill that up. So think about that if that's something that you need to address. I'm kind of running out of stuff to say, so I guess that means it's time to wrap the video. Thanks for watching, and much love to you all. And please, have a wonderful holiday season. Be safe and be warm. I know this week is going to be super cold out there. So please do what you need to do to stay warm and safe. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.